What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick video guide and playthrough here for the newest Catalyst of Change update. As you guys can see here, it's already completed, but if you go through the rewards, I was able to actually unlock the tier 14 at 3 stars, adding these additional now to gear materials. Now keep in mind, guys, this is pretty much the end game of the Catalyst of Change. It did take me a few attempts to get the RNG right, but I did find 5 characters that hopefully you guys are able to mirror and get through your progression as well. That said, let's get right to it. I'm going to break down my characters that I utilize, as well as show you the gameplay in terms of the unlock. So first and foremost, makes sense, honestly. One of the best blasters in the game being Kestrel, which he's going to be bringing to the table as a standalone character. Easily the highest character that I had leveled up just because I brought her into the Apocalypse Saga. But as well, you know, a future-proof character right now in the meantime, just because of all the upgrades and her being needed for Apocalypse. So rest assured, not all my characters are leveled up the way she is, but she hits quite hard. She's a standalone, great plug-in character for all teams. And because of her having a high red on my team, it really did make sense to bring up as high as possible. Next up, Gambit being a big addition as well. Thankfully, you know, can farm a lot of shards in the Cosmic Crucible, but you can see my upgrades here. I spared no expense bringing him up, with him being part of Unlimited X-Men, one of the best blasters in the game. His passive attacks, he's got an ability block and a devastating ultimate if you can have the right energy on time. We got Archangel being the final legendary horseman here before Apocalypse's release. And he is actually, I would say, probably on the lower end in terms of the other 4 horsemen. But because he is a blaster, it makes him one of the best ones in the game. And as you guys can see, everything upgraded as well, consistent with what we just saw with my respective characters. But everyone's going to be consistently in Gear Tier 16 with T4 ISO 8s, just because of the fact that, you know, they were needed for Apocalypse. Doctor Strange Heartless, another legendary horseman here, part of the Darkhold team in that mix. But you can see the basic is the only one in T4, but he's great because he's got a devastating ultimate ability. I love his special ability here that can actually reduce turn meter at a slow. So all this is going to be part of those horseman teams, obviously here. And it's great that he is farmable now in the game. And last but not least, guys, Silver Surfer. So definitely a character that I didn't expect to be part of this mix, but I mean, his skill set, one of the fastest characters in the game, and he's got a very powerful ultimate as special, especially with him being able to clear charges, applying an ability block for 2 turns. You're going to see how useful he is overall in the gameplay here, guys. So those are the 5 that I utilized that were able to bring me success. Silver Surfer, because he's not really part of the meta, that's why he is on the lower end, but I do have a really high red star on him, and using the ISO 8 healer also helped me provide some sustainability to these squishier blaster characters. That said, guys, those are the 5. Let's jump right into the gameplay now. Now, I will say, guys, this is the placement that kind of worked for myself, having Castro, Doctor Strange Heartless in the corners, Gambit being in the middle, because you're going to see his stealth is going to activate, so I did like that capability where he separated the adjacent attacks from the middle. So it's gonna be pretty fast paced here for the gameplay, guys. So do feel free to pause where you feel you need some change and modification. But I use a special in the very middle there, targeting Kestrel and Scarlet Witch. Reason being is because with the attacks of how they're gonna land, we want to stop Kestrel taking away her offense up, and then by doing so, you know, she's not gonna be able to get her attack up with an offense. So that's kind of nice. It kind of prevents one of our allies to go down. The reason we need Archangel, as you can see, is he does take down the enemy with the highest turn meter in terms of the passive attacks anytime we take someone down. So 2 enemies down now. We are going to now focus on kind of just applying some vulnerabilities, but it's really important to apply that special ability on that Doctor Strange Heartless in the top left corner. They do a lot of damage, and we want to get them out of the way with Agatha Harkness and Doctor Strange Heartless now out of the way. That leaves 6 enemies here, and this is where it's going to take a bit of luck, guys. So there were some failed attempts on my end, but the luck landed really well on my side. By the time I got to Surfer's next turn, using the special on Castro, actually aiming for that middle cluster, we want to see if we can just aim and finish off Dr. Doom before he gets his ultimate off, leaving with these 5 now. So we're in a really good spot. Castro should get her special back now, thanks again to the abilities of Archangel being able to give us energy back. And then we should be in a really good position here to kind of clean up the weaker ways here with the Kestros, the passive attacks, thanks to having Kestrel ISO 8 Raider. So you can see the longs should be at the very end. They hit quite hard, but it's a very jam-packed, fast-paced node, and any of these characters can actually wipe out our team with their attack. So that's why it's important to kind of focus on the turn meter, but as well taking down the key enemies like Agatha Harkness, Doctor Strange Heartless, the Kestrels, and Doctor Doom right before he uses his ultimate. So we really kind of controlled them to a standstill. Again, guys, feel free to rewind, pause if you need be, but again, it took me some luck. It wasn't a guaranteed run every time. Sometimes I would lose an ally, but I can still get to the finish line. So hopefully this at least gives you guys some visibility on how to progress through this node with the 5 characters that I utilize. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.